Welcome, all you brave hearts, to another fabulous BHN studio production of Get Grounded, Get Connected, and Get Recharged. I'm your host, Cheryl Serta, master practitioner with the Power Pack Clinic up here in Northern California, Occidental. And I have with me today John Baxter, and today we're going to talk about why it's so important to get grounded. There's a huge movement going on. People are waking up. They're putting their feet in the dirt and they're calling it earthing. But we all understand it's about grounding. So, hi, John. How are you doing today?
Hey, Cheryl, you know that energy is infectious over here, okay? So keep it up. Thank you.
Well, I do have a lot of energy, and I have a lot of energy because I'm taking the wonderful Detox high frequency nutraceuticals, but I'm also staying grounded. I actually do all these things for myself, including protecting myself when I'm in front of a computer. So there are things we can do. And that's why we have amazing people like you that are coming into our show to not just talk about your products, because if you didn't have the products to offer us, where would we be looking? Because the DACA Detox only has the very best. And I want people to understand that. When we bring someone onto our TV station and we're offering their products, it's because we've done the research and it's the best you can get. The authentic, not the fake stuff, not the phony stuff, but stuff that actually works. And so, John and I are going to talk today about why getting grounded is so important and why it's become absolutely relevant in today. So go ahead, John, give us the
Yeah,
feedback.
well, that's exciting, and that's my favorite topic. I educate and inform the world. We do have U.S. approved patents. We have actually the only U.S. approved patents today in grounding. We have a sleep system, and in the sleep system, grounding is something we brought into the bedroom. From an outdoor situation. Not everyone has the time, energy, resources to go outside barefoot. And so if you've got this and enhance your grounding by sleeping on a grounded technology, you can get this for 8 hours every plus day. So not just half an hour. We're bombarded by the EMFs 24 hours a day. So just a half an hour a day is better than nothing. But likely you need to be grounded at least 4 or 6 hours plus every day just to help neutralize some of the inflammation. So if you're ever wondering why it's hard to breathe, there's a lot of mucus, people are getting sick, did you ever consider that the Wi-Fi in your home is disrupting your DNA, causing phlegm and issues? I had a lot of people tell me that their ability to breathe, their ability to absorb oxygen was affected by the Wi-Fi just in their homes. Just to watch the TV now, you have to hook the Wi-Fi up. Just to have the phone hooked up sometimes, you have to hook the Wi-Fi into your phone. And so we are so bombarded by these EMFs that we've forgotten what is really happening. And what happens when EMF is present is our voltage goes up. Like if I measured my hand and looked at the measurement right now, well, the lights are going to increase my voltage. The Wi-Fi and everything else is increasing my voltage. And all that's doing is increasing my inflammation. So if your inflammation is going up, you're losing electrons, you're gaining free radical damage. And on the cellular level, that means you're aging. It means that you're missing electrons, and it's forcing your body to steal electrons from your bones even. That's
Wow,
really
I'm just
osteoporosis
going
is.
to interrupt you for a second because how important that is. When people understand that inflammation, and when you have inflammation in your body, nothing is working because your body can't do the things it needs to do. Your immune system is compromised. And what he's saying is absolutely true. And also, you guys, I'm watching Facebook. If you have any questions, whether you're on Facebook, TikTok, uh, Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, please put your questions in and we can answer those in real time with John, because this interactive, you bringing your questions to us, that's what makes these shows so fun, because we want to know what you're wondering. And like John was saying, we can't go barefoot all day. It's rare that we live anywhere where we can do it like Native Americans used to do, where used to have their feet in the sand and on the dirt 24/7 before shoes came into being. And that when we have our shoes on, we are not grounding with the earth. And most of these shoes, whether they're the high heels or tennis shoes, have a substance which disallows that grounding to get in through our feet. And our feet are conducting, but so is all of our body. So imagine sleeping for 8 hours and being grounded. Imagine how that is going to repair your body, right, John?
Oh yeah, and what she's talking about is the sole of your shoe is rubber. Rubber is an insulator. Why do they have rubber around cords and wires so you don't get electrocuted? It's because electricity can't go through an insulator. And so, like, think of your sole of your shoe has rubber on it. It's just totally disconnecting you from the earth, the ability to ground. And believe it or not, cement is a insulator too. Can you get electricity through a cement? No. So it's an insulator. So we've been disconnected from Mother Earth, and we've been disconnected in our minds. We've been disconnected in many different ways. We think we're separate. We only think we're separate because we're disconnected. And that leads into isolation and all the negative stuff. But once you get connected to the earth, you feel whole again. That's what this movement is. It's about bringing wholeness back into your health, balance. And when you're missing that little simple grounding effect, you're like an apple that got picked off the tree and you're just sitting there decaying, right? Basically being connected allows your growth. It allows your ability to just our studies even prove this. We have the only third-party studies done in grounding, and the studies will prove that it helps your mental health as well. So mental health is reducing depression, feelings of depression, anxiety, and stress. Now, if you remove those three things, our technology is roughly gonna decrease those negative issues 40% within 6 weeks, just grounding. So if you're removing those feelings of depression, anxiety, and stress, how much better is your life going to be? How much better is your cortisol level going to be? Way better, guys. So and you can tell by Cheryl's energy that she give me some of her stuff, because that's the truth and that's the reality. It's like, it's simple science. It's earth science. It's like, if you're disconnected from the source, you're losing electrons, and that's really the diet that's missing. You have a diet of sunlight, oxygen, food, nutrition, but if you need a diet of electrons. And what is an electron? An electron is an antioxidant. Now, you get antioxidants from the minerals that we take and ingest in our body, but they deplete. They deplete rather quickly because it's neutralizing damage in the body. Well, grounding is amazing because you get an endless supply. As long as you're connected to the earth, you get an endless supply of electrons, free-flowing electrons that neutralize this damage that's being occurred. And why do you feel better? Because your body is healing itself at a level a lot of people don't realize, because we've lived in this world for a long time, and who would have thought that just a couple minutes grounding could discharge yourself of the static in the body. Call it voltage, call it extrastatic electricity. These things, this body is, I'm going to reshape your perception and reality, but really this body is electric. This is an electrical body too, just as much as it's a fluid body, just as much as it's an alchemical body. This body is electric as well. And once you understand that perception, you'll realize that grounding is going to help reduce your inflammation. And think about it. Why do we get massages? Like, why does a massage feel good? You ever heard of those knots in your back? What are knots in your back? Trapped static electricity. Once you shake if you look at it like your perception that's electrical body, once you start shaking your muscles and improving and getting into those knots, now there's blood flow again. And really what happened once there was blood flow again? Those knots relieved themselves because it was trapped static electricity, call it stagnant energy, call it resistance. And once you remove all that resistance, the muscles become supple, soft again. That's where healing occurs. So this is a complementary technology from everything you're doing at DACA Detox. Anything that you're doing prior to the detox itself, the nutrients itself, the massage, the cardio med bed, the all the other stuff, this is a complementary, equally important technology that can really improve your health.
Well, John, I had somebody who said, they asked the question, well, what is inflammation? And so they go, is it just being overweight? And the answer is no, it is not just about being overweight. We here at the DACA Detox talk about when we're overweight, we're not overweight, we're overtoxic and overpoisoned. Your body has a natural response that it does to injury or infection or irritation. And that's where, the blood and the immune system is doing everything it can to protect whatever toxins or poisons are in your body. That creates the inflammation. Now, yes, overweight people, because your body creates that fat cell, might have more toxins and poisons, but you can certainly have inflammation without being overweight. You know this because if you're catching colds every time they come around, if you're not able to, really stay energetic, people look at me and go, wow, I'm like an ever-ready bunny. I mean, I have an endless supply of energy because I am grounded. I am doing the perfect day. I am taking the high-frequency nutraceuticals. Like John said, it is complementary. We no longer get nutrition anymore just from eating organic food. Our soils have been poisoned by all the pesticides. It's going to take hundreds of years to get them back to where they are, but that's only if we stopped continuously poisoning them. And like John was talking about, the EMFs that are coming at us from everywhere. Everybody's got their phones. Everyone's got, oh my goodness, the watches they wear where they're just, driving the EMFs right into their bodies. We have our smart cars, which means that as soon as you get into your car, you've got EMFs. So how important is it to be grounded while you're sleeping? It's imperative. It becomes almost something that's actually necessary. When I get clients to my practice, I have John's grounding pillow so that they can actually put their head and rest it on the grounding pillow while their body is letting go and allowing the cardio med bed to increase the circulation from your head to your toes. And then some, John, since I got your pillow, they fall asleep. And it's almost amazing that you can fall asleep and do this quiet breathing. It's allowing the body to, and for some people, they get up off that med bed even just one time and they'll go, wow, I think my brain is alive because we are under oxygenated. When we have a lot of inflammation in our bodies, we are not getting the oxygenation. And when John was talking about massage, or Wolf non-surgical, where we get in there and break up those knots or scar tissue or calcification, that's bringing life force energy back to you. But imagine if somebody slept all night on your fabulous bed and came to me already grounded. So they're already in a state of autophagy all night long, where their body is allowing itself to heal. So to me, that's absolutely amazing. So I have the anti-aging bed up there with the mattress and the cover. This is like the ultimate experience.
It really is. And Cheryl, what you're looking at is a marvel in health technology. And I feel very blessed and fortunate to bring it to the world. It was not done easily. There was through a lot of pain, pressure, lots of time and energy spent on this. Our claim to fame is we created the first stretchable conductive fabric. And how important is that? Because the stuff that you see on the market is made in China and it lasts 1 or 2 weeks. This lasts as long as your mattress. So that was the important thing, is to create a revolutionary product that was durable, affordable, washable, breathable, that you can have on the comfort of your own home and maximize that for years of effectiveness. So there is a little bit of an investment in your health, but you're getting something that lasts a long time. There was the bed cover, the blanket, the pillowcase, and really that conductiveness is so important. Right now, if you jump on the mattress, if you need a mattress, the anti-aging bed cover fits around your current mattress, but if you do need a mattress, we offer you 50% off if you buy a bed cover. And so this is ultra important, and it's really important that you take advantage of this because your current mattress is not helping you at all. Your current mattress is a commodity. Commodities don't do much. But in this sense, this is not a commodity. This is a piece of health technology. It's the future of health. It's a revolutionary product that won almost every major award. Bloomberg, top health technology in the world, 2024. Apple News, top technology of 2025. Just name a few. Dennis Quaid did a documentary about us. We've been featured in the New York Times about this being a miracle cure. So it's got a lot of efficacy, and we didn't want to create just another mattress. We wanted to put proven health technology in the mattress so that you could benefit long run.
So this is safe for all ages, right? A baby could sleep on this. A child?
My daughter is 3 years old. She's never had a vaccine. She's never had really dirty food. I limit sugar like insanely. Her IQ and her efficacy and her emotional intelligence is off the chart. She actually knows multiple languages, and she's been grounded and shielded from these nasty consequences since the day, even before she was born. So yeah, kids are really important because they're in the state of growth. Their cells are still dividing. EMFs, the last I checked, they even did a study with other animals, insects and amphibians, and basically birth defects. It sounds weird and crazy, but think about it. If cell division is the growth of cells, do you think EMFs play a negative role in cell division? Of course, because cell division is done electromagnetically. And then you think about that and how important is cell division? Well, it's very important. And the way you can shield yourself from EMFs has everything to do with proper development. So here we have the anti-aging pillowcase, great product, affordable, one of our most affordable products.
Well, it's a great place for people to start if they're wondering how they want to, start adding this into their lives. And you haven't created super abundance yet. However, you're still loving yourself unconditionally. And you go, I'm going to start with that pillowcase. I'm going to start putting something underneath my face and my head that's going to start the process because I know it's got silver infused so that it's, helping the whole thing, right? It's medical grade silver. That's amazing that you guys have the technology to get all of that into a pillowcase.
Yeah, it really is. And like I said, it took 6 years to figure it out. No one thought it could be done. And if we remember what a telephone cord is, like one of those curly telephone cords, it looks like it's this long, but it's actually as long as the room. Remember those days where you pull the telephone cord and how far will it stretch? Well, that's what we had to figure out to make this work. If you just put one single line of thread that doesn't stretch across, right, tightly, and I push down on it with my knee, it snaps. That was the problem we had to deal with. And this is a USA made product. This is not a Chinese product, right? The best stuff and some of the best stuff in the world is made in North America. Time and time again, we are innovators, and what we see is there's a lot of copycats, but this is an original patented technology.
Well, here we have your blanket. Is this a blanket that goes over the whole bed, or is this a blanket you could sit under, sitting there watching TV or whatever people are doing and having it plugged in? Can you ground that way as well?
This is a versatile piece of technology. You could use it to watch TV. You can use it typically as a typical blanket in your bedroom. So people use this many different ways in the living room, in the bedroom, in the kitchen even.
I love that because now it's getting cold up here in Northern California, and we had some very chilly evenings. We've actually had to have fires already. So for me, having something where if I'm all cozied up underneath and I'm still getting grounded, well, that's magical as far as I'm concerned because I'm getting everything I need while connecting to the Earth's natural electric charge. So every opportunity that we can, help our bodies to heal and put us into a state of being where we're in that parasympathetic state, where your body can actually heal itself. To me, that's the beauty of all of these products, is that it is complementary to your life.
Yeah, and you're seeing EMF shielding, far infrared technology. There's crystals embedded in this. There's EMF shielding, like I said, basic grounding. And then the silver is antimicrobial. So it's like a four-in-one tech and washable, breathable, stretchable, lasts as long as your mattress. So here's another one that's really important. If you want to have your melatonin levels increased, typically you would want to shield your orbit around your eye from any type of EMF or light. So to help assist with your sleep, this eye mask is so good. It shields you from the EMFs, not just light, because EMFs you can't shield really without a grounding technology. And as you can see, what triggers your awakeness or your sleepiness? A lot of times it's blue light. Blue light can stimulate your eye, and if it stimulates your eye, it's going to basically increase serotonin levels, which keep you awake. But if you, without the presence of any light or EMF in the eye orbit, it's shielding you from these systems. So your melatonin levels in a dark state, no light, circadian rhythm. These are the proper ways to sleep. And if you can maximize your sleep with something as simple as an eye mask, you'd be really surprised on how this technology works.
Well, I think having an eye mask when you're flying on an airplane and you actually want to just shut out and be healing and get that restful sleep, what a fabulous way to use them as well. And of course, for me, I love the fact that your pets can have a grounding pet bed because our pets are even as, I mean, they're just as sensitive as we are. When I became an EMF-free clinic, it was amazing the difference in not just my animals, but my plants and everything else that's happening here at the clinic.
Yeah, and you think about how important your pets are, they're just there for your support. They're supporting you. And they're limited to what they can do because they live in your house. They can go play in your yard, but they're not as free unless you give them that freedom. And have you ever seen a dog walk down the street with rubber-soled shoes on? You have, see? I actually have, actually. But was it a grounding shoe, right? So their paw is supposed to be connected to the earth, and you would be surprised on how many health issues start to dissolve away once your pet starts sleeping grounded.
And then, of course, for me, the grounding station, because I know a lot of people spend their entire day sitting in front of a computer. And having your ability to be grounded while you're sitting there, to me, really takes it up another notch and another level because you're not just doing it while you're sleeping. You're also supporting your body because you're usually sitting in front of a computer and you've got the internet and you've got all these things that are around you. So to me, having that to sit on or put your feet on, I love the picture because it shows it there on the ground as well. And I see it's also where your wrists are when you're working on a computer. It's like everything is in here to help facilitate that process, because we are technology people and we like, all the things that technology brings to us, like the ability for us to do these shows.
Absolutely. And you think about it, this is a three-piece system. It's very versatile. Could you take the chair station and sleep on it? Yes. Could you take that in the living room and use it? Yes. Could you take the foot and turn it into a dog bed? Possibly, yes. This is a three-piece versatile system. The more surface area you have in your body, the better it works. But this is an amazing system. You spend a third of your life a lot of times in the office. You spend a third of your life in sleep. Let's try to balance out the negative consequences of our gadgets and fight fire with fire. Let's use our technology to fight back against these EMFs. And here's the study that I was bringing up earlier. You get 39% better quality sleep, 40% less anxiety, 39% less depression, excuse me, and 42% less stress. 11% more quality depth of REM sleep, deep sleep, which is the hardest to get. This is just a third-party study that was done by a third-party company that took our bed cover and studied it. A lot of times you'll never see anything over roughly 10% improvement with your health. These are high 40, or these are 40%, which is a high number. 40% of anything. Wow, that's almost half. You're almost getting twice the sleep you're almost getting two minutes of sleep for every one. So your quality of sleep just jumped through the roof. And then there's no price you can put on this, guys. What could you put a price on this? Your whole life, you receive 40% less anxiety just because you're sleeping on this? You can't put a price on that. And if your cortisol levels are high when you're not sleeping, there's a very important correlation between poor sleep and chronic disease. There's a really big correlation between poor sleep and weight gain. So these are important things that you guys should know.
I think that's fabulous. And I'm so glad that you're with us today to bring again that information to us, because we need to hear it over and over and over again. And right now, anxiety and stress, all you have to do is turn the TV on to hear all the stress and anxiety that's happening in our world right now. And that depression has become more and more prevalent. And so to have a place where your body can actually shut down and heal while you're sleeping, because if you're having trouble getting to sleep, which happens to a lot of people, right? So we have products to help with that. But then you get into your bed. And I know for me, when I'm done at the end of the day and I crawl onto my grounding mattress cover, I haven't quite got to the whole bed thing yet, but I'm working my way. Then I know that when I go to sleep, I do fall into a deeper sleep and I don't wake up all night long, right? So when I wake up, it's almost like a surprise, John, when I wake up and go, wow, I didn't get up tonight. I slept through the night. And so for me, 7 hours feels like 12. I get up completely rested and have even more energy for myself the next day. So before I get on to talking about the events that are happening right now for the DACA Detox, is there anything else you want to add for us, John?
Yeah, well, I have a cool story. I have a guy, his name was Shep Gordon. Who is Shep Gordon? People ask. He was just the manager of, Janis Joplin, The Doors. He was a manager of Alice Cooper. Not only that, Jim Morrison, I guess, The Doors, of course, Jimi Hendrix. So he was the original manager that made all this possible. And he also ran the Food Network that got popular, in the years 2000 and on. He was a very big time guy. And he basically got our bed cover. And this is just one of those funny stories. He was getting up every hour through the night. And so, like, if you're talking 8 hours, he's getting up 8 times plus. So when he got the bed, I had him and his wife on the phone, and his wife was pregnant, and she said, he says, well, I'm not sure if it's working. I'm not sure if it's working, and it's probably not working. And she was like, oh, Mr. Baxter, thank you so much. You have no idea. He's only getting up maximum one time a night now. He was getting up every hour, and he goes, I think it is working. So a lot of us are disconnected, but we may not know it's working, but other people can vouch that it's working. So the thing is realize your glycemic index is like if you have diabetes. Well, we have a lot of customers that actually proved with their blood test they were able to actually get off of diabetic medicine. A lot of people don't know that grounding offers a better control of your glycemic index, utilization of your of sugars and how they get used. So, that's just a little tidbit. I thought it was cool. But whether you believe it's working or not, people around you. So we've even had people say, well, like their mood. Oh, well, I'm not sure if nothing works on me. I could sleep on the floor. We get this a lot of times from men. It's like, oh, you could sleep on the floor. Really, sir? You're okay with sleeping on the floor with all these health problems. Oh, yeah, I'm a man. I can sleep on the floor and come to find out, like, they're sleeping like a little baby on the bed cover every night, feeling so good. Whether they realize it or not, it's just one of those things. And the studies don't lie. Like I said, the third party study doesn't lie. That was done by a third party company. We had no chance to choose what says on that form. So these are things that you need to know. And I wanted to thank you again, Cheryl, for giving me the time and opportunity to talk to our fellow Braveheart Nation.
Oh, we're so grateful that you take the time to come see us. And, it is cumulative. The more that we are grounding, the more cumulative it becomes. And so that's why maybe somebody doesn't notice right away, but they will.